Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Biafra TV. We are live and direct to continue from the part 2 of Washington D.C. movement. If only congressmen and lobby in Washington D.C. can give us Biafra recognition that we are seeking to. Because as it stands now, it's only one thing that we are looking for. And if you ask a question, what is that only one thing we are looking for? We are only seeking for international recognition. The question remains, can only lobby congressmen only in Washington D.C. can they give us Biafra recognition? Or can only America, as one of the world power, give us Biafra as a recognition? These are the areas we want to check out. And also look how other countries in the world have got their own. If there is any example of those who have gotten their independence before us, or those who have passed this through that we are passing through today, or are we only the first people that are passing through this mission that we are into, to have Biafra as our own country? Are we only the tired people who has done that in the past? And the things that we are passing through at this stage, has many other people passed through that in the past? These are the areas we need to check what we are doing and to find out if people has gone through this process that we are passing today. If people has gone through this process and achieved their own, it's like someone who enters school. There is those who have school in that school and pass out. And for you to pass out, you have to follow the existing protocol of those who have passed out from that school. That is where we are. That is what is happening. And that is why we must look at ourselves to finally fully answer within others has done in the past. Because the movement of having a new country is an open ideology. What do I mean by that? The open ideology is that what you are detecting or what you want to do, people has somehow, somewhere passed through that process before you. If you enter in our own way of school, in our own curriculum, or that zoological zoo country called Nigeria, people has, in our own style of school, we have primary 1, we have JS1, we have 100 level. In other different part of African countries, they have grade 1, grade 2, and how they describe their own school. And we have how we describe our own. On that note, that is where we got to do what? Find out the truth that behind what we are doing. You will enter that school as first time of you coming into JS1, and you will change the movement of the school. You change the movement of the school to in fact, in the way you want and how you feel. And the way it will suit. No, you will stand on the existing protocol of those who have passed out from that the same class, that the same JS1, or that the same primary 6 that we are passing, that we are just entering. The class or the school or the principal will not do because of you. You and you are all of you are coming new into the class and change the rules of the school. Like example, if the school is going to break 1 o'clock, they are not going to do because you enter and change the time of the break to 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. No, it must be at the same that time. And if the break is closing by 2 o'clock or the break is closing by 1, it must be at the same time that those who has passed out from that school close their time and go into class. If school open by 7:30 before you enter the school, as you are entering, the school will open by 7:30 in the morning or 7:45 in the morning. They never come and change the time for the school because of how you feel, what you think, and how you want it. Nobody has done that in the past. Not in this our own time. That is why we need to check things that we are doing. In this Biafra movement, you are in social media talking about it. What you are saying, the evidence you are proving, where has it happened before? Can you? Or in 80s and 90th century / 20s, there is those, even to include in this 21st century, there is those. When it's come to 90s, you talk about Namibia and Algeria. When you talk about 2011, you talk about 21st century, you talk about South Sudan. These people has gone through this road. They have gone a massive, huge, de facto recognition and remain the due recognition. What you are doing and what you are teaching people and why you are dragging USB, messing yourself social media, that thing that you are saying, does it stop the countries to have their recognition? The answer is no. What you see you go 247 and all of them doing today never stops. Like people other countries that have about 4-8 group, some has 5, some have 10. It never stopped them from recognition to the appropriate authority or the legal means of the world, which is that the first legal means of the world for a new country is what? The peaceful declaration. Is what? Is the peaceful declaration of the world is the most important part of it. So, on this is where we are into. You are the one, we are not the one to change, but the world has to. We only have to queue online. Ask how many countries in the past have achieved the recognition. How many countries in the past has gone through this process that we are passing today? If many people in the past has gone through this process and they was be able to achieve their own, why can't we follow that road that these people has gone in the past to achieve their own, to achieve our own also? These are the areas that we all need to checkmate ourselves and know what to do and find out that the things we are representing out there, the things we are thinking, is it how other countries in the past and the people in the past have got their own? If it is not, we just need to change. So our headline today on this wonderful evening from my location, the headline remains U.S. Washington D.C. Is it only place to get international recognition for a newly country? That is the headline that we are treating. Why are we doing this? is for those people who are championing to you Washington D.C. that okay, increase Washington D.C. with congressmen and the lobby. Where is your own? And the question remains, can these congressmen alone, can the congressmen give you Biafra recognition as a country? The congressmen, are they only the one that will give international recognition in this 21st century? These are the areas that we need to checkmate what we are doing so we can be able to understand it. Please, as you are listening, there is error on my headline. I pick up the headline that I use in the morning. So, but we are going to do some changes on the headline to tell them what we are doing today. This is supposed to be part 2 of part 2. Can only U.S. Washington D.C. congressmen give Biafra recognition? Listen to see that in the Washington D.C. is not only the place. There is a place that's bigger than Washington D.C. And if your so-called crime prime minister, Ogenkere, could not be able to send any document into that place, that's why I told that Ogenkere has used your mind, trying to do what? To rubbish your mind, like the way IPOB organization captured the minds of their followers on the only thing they can be able to do is protest, agitation at all time. That is only what they can be able to do. Today, Ogenkere has criminal your mind in the aspect of that going to Washington D.C., having check hand with congressmen and the lobby is way to get Biafra recognition. Pure lie. Is far from it. So I want to urge you this afternoon to listen to this as the program begins from now.
That is a really interesting perspective on how power works in the modern world. There is definitely a strong argument that Washington, D.C. remains the town square of global politics. If a new movement or nation wants immediate financial backing or media visibility, D.C. is usually the first stop. However, international recognition is a bit more like a puzzle than a single door. While the U.S. is a massive piece of that puzzle, it isn't the only one. Here is how international recognition actually functions in the 21st century. The 3 pillars of recognition. 1. The United Nations, New York. While D.C. holds the political teeth, the UN headquarters in New York is the legal gateway. To be a real country in the eyes of the world, you generally need a recommendation from the Security Council and a 2/3 vote in the General Assembly. Without this, even if the U.S. likes you, you remain in a gray zone, like Kosovo or Taiwan. 2. Regional power centers. Depending on where a declaration happens, other cities can be just as vital for survival. Brussels, for anything in Europe or involving trade and human rights standards. Addis Ababa, the seat of the African Union, essential for any new African state to gain legitimacy. Beijing, increasingly, for nations in Asia and Africa, China's recognition is the key to infrastructure and no-strings-attached investment. 3. The court of public opinion. In the 21st century, digital recognition is a new frontier. A movement that gains massive traction on social media can force the hands of distant governments. In this sense, the internet is a virtual capital city that didn't exist in the 20th century. Why DC still feels like the only choice? You aren't wrong to feel that DC is the ultimate prize. There are 3 main reasons why people flock there. The dollar. Most international trade and aid are tied to U.S. currency and banking systems. Military deterrence. A peaceful declaration often needs a powerful friend to ensure it stays peaceful. The megaphone. The DC press corps can turn a local declaration into a global headline overnight. The reality check. While DC can grant diplomatic life, true long-term recognition requires a balance. A nation recognized only by the US but ignored by its neighbors often struggles to survive. Would you like me to look up specific examples of recently declared states and see which cities they visited first to get recognized?
I hope you are paying attention. There is one thing that we all must understand. Even in the past, even in the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries, how things worked then is similarly the same way it's working right now. The only thing that has changed on the thing that has worked in the past, in the 80s, 90s, and 20s, was that the only way for recognition is through gun and bullet on the battlefield. Is the only way. Then in this 21st century law that our people refuses to understand, there is a 21st century law where the world has changed. The same way today, the world is equally moving out from Android phone to what? To iPhone 17 Pro Max in this 2026. The same way the world has moved out from common Nokia Touch to Android in every common smallest and the biggest of it. These are the areas that we, the Biafran people that want Biafra as a nation, we never focus on that. We focus on how we feel, what we want, and how we reason, and how we see things in our own way. But when it's come to the way of the look at it now, look at what I'm doing here right now. They put it in a document and kept it somewhere. If you don't go to research, you can't find such things out. If you did not research, you will not find out that Washington D.C., where Ogenkere used to confuse the gullibles, is not only the place, or not even the first place, that recognition is coming from. Do you also know that recognition comes from your neighbor, from Africans country, as our neighbor? And in this 21st century law, the three pillars that leads to recognition, that Washington D.C. is not among them. And people may ask a question, why people are flocking into Washington D.C. is the questions that call for an answer. Why people are rushing into Washington D.C. is what you ask yourself. One, people rush into Washington D.C. because of what? Because they see Washington D.C., number one, as a place of a safe haven for their economy. They see Washington D.C. as a safer haven for them. That is number one. Then number two, Washington D.C. and their system of DOJ FERA monitoring your activities, that now you are a new declared country, that the present country that you want to exit might track you fraud and many other names. So when the Washington D.C. or the FERA or DOJ monitors your outcoming and your incoming, it will only help you to be stable, so that nobody will write to America to checkmate you, but you have already been checkmating yourself in front of the America, like now that the movement of Biafra based in America. That's where we base. That is where our headline, that is where our head office is. That is the areas that we needed our attention so much, where we need to checkmate things and see how everything is going on. Not that is where you are going to get recognition. In the history of the world, Washington D.C., the congressmen and the only lobby, has never granted automatic recognition to any country, and that country become an existing country. I challenge you who believe in that criminal mindset of Ogenkere to post out one country that's a Washington D.C. from Washington D.C. from the lobby to congressmen has, because they have single-handedly grants a country recognition, and that country, because of congressmen lobby in Washington D.C., they become automatic a country. Give me one. I shut down this YouTube page. Stop talking. I challenge you. Bring one. Bring Sonny Akwarawa, Ogenkere, Chiamaka Ajere, all of you together. Bring one country. Even Chiamaka Ajere does no longer believe in Washington D.C. and congressmen. No. He does not believe in that anymore. That is how they roll. I challenge you that come on comment section to talk about where is your lobby, where is your congressman in Washington D.C. I challenge you to bring one country that's lobby and congressmen has announced the recognition, and because of they announced that they, as the congressmen and the lobby, we have recognized you for that. Every world accepted you, that accepted that country as a full country and queue in line. Give me one. I challenge. Because there is no need coming here lying every blessed day from both sides of your mouth, and why the truth remains where it is. Why the truth is far from any of you. That is why I want you to see it clearly, to understand what we are doing and why we must continue doing what we are doing at this stage that we are into. Everything that the world wants us to do is in the open. It's just a matter of our own time to research and find out the truth. The truth is in the open, but the world always hides the truth where you can't find them. That's why they said, if you want to deceive a black man, put it on a written document, document. Hide it somewhere. They cannot go down to research and find out. Listen to this voice again as I will be pausing I will be keeping it. I will be pause it, then analyze it, and we move. But before that, I must thank everybody in the comment section. I see all of you. Please, the first link you are seeing up here is my Facebook link, because I want also to extend this message to Facebook that once we are live, then the message will be screaming or showing in Facebook. They say that I have to get up to 100 followers on this new Facebook that is only for Biafran movement. So please touch the link. Just only follow me on YouTube, on Facebook. Once we reach 100, we can be able to be passing live message to YouTube. Now I am only shooting videos on that area, but they said I must get 100 followers before I can be able to stream live on YouTube. So please, I want you to join me to do that thing for me, to help me to do what? To follow me on Facebook. Please, my people. If you look at the map you are seeing at my background, the map you are seeing there is map of the world. The map of the United States of Biafra has entered in the world stage map. And when you look at that map, on that arrow, what you will see there is United States of Biafra. Who make it happen is because of the office of the United States of Biafra government is functioning very well. That is why. So on the comment section, I want to welcome all of you. I see you, Chibozo. Thank you so much. I see you, Shima. Thank you so much. I also see Blessing. Thank you so much. I see Maureen. Thank you so much. I see at Izu. Thank you. And Olive Ozo. Thank you. I see Mommy Doreen. I see Chris, the son Biafra. I see all of you. Please, the only thing you do for me is to hit the like button, subscribe, like, and share. Please. Now, let us move into the plan. Like I said, I will play it again. Listen to this. For those who are championing Washington, D.C. to you, for those that they are used Washington, D.C. to lobby and the congressmen shaking hand and picture, that is pure 419. What they are doing to you is like what IPOB has put in the mindset of all the IPOB member organization. What do they put into their mind? They put in their mind that the only way they will achieve Biafra as a country is by protest and agitation, that the world will come to answer them through that means. That is what they have put into your mind. That is why I am here to let you know that those things they put into your mind is not reality. So I want you to see that Ogenkere's style to keep you and to make you is what? Is by snapping pictures in Washington, D.C. and sending to you. And you will call it and come. Your crime prime minister is the one doing that. Because there is nothing he can offer except to snap a picture with a white man, which is very free. I also want you to understand there is no amount of that picture being snapping in Washington, D.C. will give us Biafra as our own country. Because like I challenge any of them, give us one country where because of the Washington, D.C. has announced them, or the congressmen or the lobby announced that they are a country, and that is how they become a country, or how they get international recognition. If you show me such a thing, I will shut this YouTube page down. I will not talk again. But if it's not, I will show you 5 countries that boycott Washington, D.C. and today they are a country. They boycott congressmen and lobby. Today they are an existing country, functioning very well. Even become a member of the UN without having lobby in the Washington, D.C. That is when I read all these things and I find out, oh, why our DPM is not championing lobby and the congressmen. There is things that are more important and more heavier than the congressmen and the lobby. There is things. We are going to find those things out today in our program today. So let us move, my people. Like I said, listening to this again, you will hear about the 21st century functioning of the 3 pillars of that leads recognition. The 3 pillars of recognition. You will find out if Washington, D.C. is among them that give recognition in this 21st century, even in the old, even in the 80s, even in the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries. We will find out. Shebos Emmanuel, I see you. Good evening from here. You're welcome. Thank you so much. So listen again.
That is a really interesting perspective on how power works in the modern world. There is definitely a strong argument that Washington, D.C. remains the town square of global politics. If a new movement or nation wants immediate financial backing or media visibility, D.C. is usually the first stop. However, international recognition is a bit more like a puzzle.
What do you hear here? That is a really interesting perspective on how power works in the modern world. There is a strong argument that Washington, D.C. remains the town square of global politics. It's about a global world politics, where the politics is also like what we are doing in social media today. Going to Washington D.C. is like you staying on social media to be hitting to the wall to give you recognition at your country. Like what we are doing here right now is part of it. Now, they say that it's a global square, it's town square of global politics where everybody wants to come. In fact, the Washington D.C. is like a radio house. It's like a TV news. That is all about Washington D.C. Because when you go to Washington D.C., you will meet the different calibers of men in a different part of the world. That is where they all come together. That is where they come together to do what? To discuss. And you, being a new country, going in there, seeing them, to introduce yourself with the name of your new country is also for them to know in their mind that a new country is about to merge. And the ones who start giving them money, they will also do what? Talk about you. These are truths that you need to know in this 21st century. Now, however, international recognition is a bit more like a proxy than a single door. Why the US is a massive piece of the massive price of it is the only one. Because of in that Washington D.C., you meet, like I said, different calibers of men. They can also talk about you. They can also make people to know that you have come to exist. Then on that, as they are like a whistleblower, they are the congressmen and Washington D.C. is like a radio house where you market and champion your business. Because of you champion your business on the radio house, on a TV presenter, is it where people are going to buy it? Are you not the one who will use your leg and went into different offices and into different market to show your market, to sample your market? And people will say, okay, bring, I want it. This is exactly what people refuse to understand. And Ogen Kere criminalized the mindset of those who are following him and championing congressmen. He's Washington D.C. today. We went to Washington D.C. is not going to recognition. Like the way championing, like the way putting your market on television to adverts or on radio is not only a place you sell the market. You use your leg, walk into a different offices and show them the sample. You also go to market and market the business so the world can see it. That is what Washington D.C. is all about. That is what Washington D.C. is all about. Nothing more than that. Now, here is how international recognition actually function in this 21st century. How this function in this 21st century. Listen, the three pillars of recognition. Let us see in the three pillars of recognition if Washington D.C. and congressmen are there. Let us see if they are there. 1, the United Nations, New York, is number 1 priority. And this number 1 priority, in coming days, we will find out if Ogen Kere has linked up with anybody on the United Nations in New York. Why DC hold the political teeth? Do you see it? The Washington D.C. is, like I said, is like a radio house. It's like a TV section where you market and people will hear, and it left for you to work hard to sell your business. The UN headquarters in New York, the UN headquarters is where in New York, is the legal gateway, of international recognition. The UN headquarters in New York, where Ogen Kere can never step in or he will be arrested, is the only gateway for international recognition. Look at how they put the word. The UN headquarters in New York is the legal gateway for international recognition. Did they say that the Washington D.C. congressmen and lobby are the gateway to international recognition? The answer is no. But they said the UN headquarters in the New York is the legal gateway for international recognition. To be a really country in the eyes of the world, you generally need a recommendation from the Security Council and the 2/3 vote in the General Assembly. Without this, even if the US likes you, you remain in gray zone like Kosovo or Taiwan. Now, they mentioned the two countries that remain in a gray zone that up to today, they have never got officially international recognition. They thought that the US like them. So because of you are going to Washington, D.C. and telling that US loves you, that the congressmen, you are with them, the question is it a way for recognition? The answer is they said no. That's only the UN headquarters in New York is the legal gateway for international recognition in this 21st century. Regional power center. Regional power center. Listen to this. Depend on where a declaration happens. Now, what again? Declaration. Where this declaration happened. Do you know why Ogenkere cannot near the UN headquarters in the New York? Because before he go in there, our deputy prime minister and the cabinet members has already submitted the USB RIA declared document there. That is the reason why. So if you're going to doubt this program today, let him go to the UN quarter in New York and the president himself that he come to submit the document of Biafra they are declared. They will arrest him. They will arrest him immediately. And if you are doubting me, in any country where you are, try to find out if you can use Ogenkere giving you anything about USB, about declaration to get asylum. You are deported immediately without wasting time. You will be deported immediately. Today, if you try to use any paper consign IPOB to seek for asylum, they will deport you. It's only USB we are declared. It's only documents that can give you asylum in any country today, and you will not be deported. Go and verify. I said, go and verify and come out. Let's continue.
Single door. While the US is a massive piece of that puzzle, it isn't the only one. Here is how international recognition actually functions in the 21st century. The 3 pillars of recognition. 1. The United Nations, New York. While DC holds the political teeth, the UN headquarters in New York is the legal gateway. To be a real country in the eyes of the world, you generally need a recommendation from the Security Council and a 2/3 vote in the General Assembly. Without this, even if the US likes you, you remain in a gray zone, like Kosovo or Taiwan. 2. Regional power centers. Depending on where a declaration happens, other cities can be just as vital for survival. Brussels, for anything in Europe or involving trade and human rights standards. Addis Ababa, the seat of the African Union, essential for any new African state to gain legitimacy. Beijing, increasingly, for nations in Asia and Africa, China's recognition is the key to infrastructure and no-strings-attached investment. 3. The Court of Public Opinion.
I hope you listen to number 2. I hope you listen to the number 2 of this program, where we can find the recognition, where the recognition is coming from. And from number 1 to number 2, do you even hear with your ear that recognition is coming from the congressmen in Washington, D.C.? I am not undermining the Washington, D.C. No. The Washington, D.C. is like a TV channel where people listen to different news every blessed day. Then it depends on you to walk into the office and sample your market. Can Ogenkere sample in the UN? Can he sample in the Brazzaville? Can he sample in the Addis Ababa? Can he sample in the Beijing and send any document? He cannot because he doesn't have it. This only Washington D.C. is what he has. Like IPOB having protest and agitation that leads nowhere. So I want to tell you that what you see Ogenkere is doing is leading you nowhere. Ogenkere find out that only way he can economize your mind is using the name of Washington D.C. to deceive you and the congressmen and the lobby. And you will come in the comment section and come and write about congressmen and lobby. When you have a structured government, you don't even need lobby because there is offices in your structured government that covers the lobby and the congressmen. He left for some offices in the structure of a government to represent you and submit your document in the eyes of the world. This is how it goes. Please like and share the program. If you never do so, please endeavor to do that. Hit the like button. Share the message. And like I told you, there is a link on this program. There is link here on top of this program. The link is my Facebook page. I want you to just to follow me there. I need 100 followers for us to be also sending this message to Facebook also, not only on the YouTube. I thought we need to go extra mile to propagate, because what we don't have in the 1967 to 1970, we have it now, social media. So we must propagate this message all over the social media. So if you love this message, hit on this link right now, the link you are seeing here right now. Hit on that link. Then what will happen? It will take you to my Facebook page. Just follow. Then we need 100 followers for us to start also streaming the program live once we on program. Please, I urge you to do that. Please. So as we are moving, depend on where the declaration happens. Other countries let's continue. Other citizens can just as vital for survive. Brazzaville, for anything in Europe involving trending and human rights standard, you must go to Brazzaville in Europe. Addis Ababa, the seat of the African Union, external for any new African state to gain legitimacy. Are you hearing it? Ogenkere has never gone there. I don't want to talk too much because I have all these things right now. That's why I told that. Now we have our gadget. This thing I am reading now has been taken for over 3 months. I cannot be able to get it. But when we have now that we have what it takes to get the job, we are going to do it. We are going to do it in a way that when you hear the message, if you are doubting USB, then you are doubting your life. You never, in fact, you doubt your mother and your father. If you are doubting USB, they are declared. Through the leadership of Tongozo Arabeze, if you are doubting of Tongozo Arabeze, you are doubting your mother and your father in the house. Now, increasingly, for nations in Asia and Africa, China recognition is the key to infrastructure, non-street attack involvement, no stranger attack involvement that was involved on it. Can you see how the world is moving? Can you see what the world is presenting to you? In the declaration of a new country, nothing like after declaration, congressmen in Washington D.C. is not only the road to recognition. The main road is you to use your cabinet members to walk into the office of the UN, EU, AU. That is what the word is telling us right here. And because of Ogenkere, criminal-minded and what he represents, Ogenkere cannot, because he doesn't have any document to submit. See, when our DPM said that any office you think you are going, before you, I am out from that office. That is why you know that you have a government that is working for you. So we are here to give you the hidden truth, the hidden truth. What that thing that they said, if you want to hide the truth from it, if you don't want a black man to know the truth, keep it on a written note, hide it. He will never go in to look for it. That is what we are doing here. We are giving you all those hidden truths. That is what is delaying the movement that we are into. Without this, I was thinking, as Ogenkere is always Washington D.C., that is only the way. I never knew that Washington D.C. is another different agenda. Washington D.C. is just like a TV channel. Let me give you an example. Washington D.C. is like AIT in Nigeria. Washington D.C. is like Al Jazeera, where you go, where the world come and listen to everything that happening in the world. Those are fighting for war. Those are doing, that is what they represent. They never represent recognition. And I challenge you again. Give me one country, because of that they have lobby in Washington D.C. and they know congressmen, they become a country. Please give me one. If you can't give me one, I will give you 5 that they did not walk into Washington D.C. and they become a sovereign state that gets recognition from the members of the UN. I challenge you. I challenge you to bring one out. The court of public option. Do you know that is what they call the court of public option in this world we are living? Washington D.C. is like a court of public option where everybody comes and publicizes their option and what they are passing through. That would simply mean, Jerry, I see you. Good evening. Uche Ejiofor, I see you. Good evening. Paul, I see you. Good evening. Next, Mark, very long time. You are here today. You are welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. The court of public option in the 21st century, digital recognition is a new frontier. The world has opened another front to recognize a new country. They said digital. What is the digital? The digital is about the self-referendum one. The peaceful declaration in Helsinki, Finland on November 29, 2024, 2. The signatures of that declaration document, 3. Number 4, the ID card of the USB were declared. 4. Number 5, the passport. Number 6, the grievances that were documented and sent to the offices. These are what the word said, called what? A digital recognition. Today in America, how they do voting is not through digital. That is how you know that the world are transitioned into a digital movement, not into gun and bullet recognition. That one has happened in the past, and it's not going to happen again. A movement that gives a massive transition on a social media can force the hands of the digital government. In this sense, the internet is a viral capital city that did exist in the 20th century. You know that also why we lost the war because there's no social media. That is our own to propagate the Biafran war. Except only one, and that one is in the local rural area in our territory. Can you hear it here? That is why I am hitting social media so much. That with the time we have to use to face the international community on social media, be dragging them, we used to do ourselves. We used to talk about Ramma, Shika, Shiamaka, Jere, and all of them. This is only way I can talk about them. For you to know that what they are doing does not exist and it's never happened anywhere in the world before, and what they are doing cannot stop recognition. Because every other country in the past, I have given you an example of Namibia, how the world, the UN, call the four group that marched to fight against the SWAPO that made the declaration of Namibia as a country. What happened? The world called them puppets. The world called them betrayer of their own people. The world see them as spy. This is how the world see these people in the past. This is how the world look at them and tell them what they belong. That's why I told you that this thing that we are doing today, that the world are watching us closely. They are seeing. The world said that the world has moved into a digital recognition. That is why they said we have to win on paper first before the ground winning. Winning on paper, when we win on paper, is in fact, that is when we have won everything, because the paper is what they will send to Nigeria. Like when Namibia win on paper, and the UN use their hand to send the document of the winning to the South Africa, and South Africa now pack their load and leave. And what we lack in the 20th centuries is what we have now. They call it what? Media. Internet. There is internet. On this internet is when the UN observers watches all we are doing. On this internet, I said, that is where the world watches all we are doing in this 21st century. That is why I urge you, please, to hit the like button, like and share the program so others will join us and know that we are live and we are direct. It is very important at this stage we are into that you understand what we are doing. It's not how we feel. It's not what somebody think. It's about the truth that we must listen to. It's about the reality that has been there before us. That is why we can show you everything. You can see it all. Without that, what we are doing this time around. Washington D.C. still feel like the only Washington D.C. is this still only the one choice to get recognition? Now, listen. You are wrong to feel that Washington D.C. is the only way for a new country. Is this ultimate prize? No. There are three main reasons why people flock there. There is three reasons people go to Washington, D.C. to the congressmen. Listen to this. The dollar, most international trading aid are tied of the U.S. currency and the banking system. The trending of the dollar is also why people goes in there. Are you hearing it? The people goes in there because of the stable of the bank system of America. Many people that are there monitoring the fund, how their country's investment on the issue of dollar is happening. That's why people are there also. People are not there because that is where they got recognition. No, they are there also for a business. The second one, because it is three, the second, military differences. A peaceful declaration often need a powerful friend to ensure it stays so. A peaceful declaration often needed a powerful friend to ensure it stays peacefully. You need this for you to do what? To stay. People go to Washington D.C. That is why U.S. government registered the 40 states of the United States of Biafra to prove to the world there is existing country that has come to exist. Registering it there is nothing anybody again can write against our declaration again that the world will listen to it, because from here you can take it and say, okay, because those you are seeing in the congressmen, many of them are monitoring what is happening from the office of the DOJ, the Department of Justice of America. This is what is happening there. The reality checking why the DC can grant a diplomatic life through a long time recognition requires a balance. A nation organized only by the US but ignored by its neighbors, often struggling to survive. That they are struggling to do what? To survive. Any nation who believe, oh, let us go to Washington D.C. You are going to suffer and struggle. You can struggle, to survive is very hard for you. Because I have given it to you that Washington D.C. is not a place for recognition. It's a place for a political movement, for people to know that you have declared your country, and also then it's left for you to go into United Nations in New York. It's left for you to go into Kenya, United States Ababa to submit under the AU. It's left for you to go into EU to submit, and every other individual bodies, organization, or personal IGOs that's also in this movement. That is why you needed it. Not that the recognition is coming from the office of the congressman in Washington D.C. No. I challenge any of you to bring those who are championing Ogenkere, lobby, congressmen, Washington D.C. Give us one country that Washington D.C. has grand recognition. Please, my people, 1 minute. I have a very important call to attend to. 1 minute. Hello, Namuk. Okay, I think you can go on now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I have this question because I've been listening to you since.
Okay.
Because this program is just, wonderful. But what I want to ask you, because you said here that the world, they are listening, they are watching, which I believe. So are you not telling me now that, because as long as I know, United States of Biafran government have put documents in many, even in AU, even in everywhere, even in Nigeria, everywhere. So what are these people that are saying, oh, Dr. Rabeze is this, Dr. Rabeze is that, or about this one, or about this one, or about this one, we bring lawyer. So does it mean that all this their effort is just in vain?
There is no
because
effort.
When they are saying these words, I'm not sure, based on what you are saying, an international person cannot sit down and be listening. I don't think they will not even understand what is Orabugoro Fulani. So are you not telling me that these things they are doing is just in vain?
That is what I'm saying. What they are doing is just in vain. What they are doing is what they after the declaration of Namibia as a country, the four powerful groups that exist from that declaration, they called the SWAPO leader. They call him terror. They call him all kinds of names. Even say that he's working with Soviet Union to destroy their people. What happened when the UN has observed all these things? Good recognition. They call this four group, like when you see IPOB, Masob, Ogen Keresh, Mama Duabo, and all of them, they call them puppet of the old country. The world are not listening for all those nonsense. They are looking for a legal digital document, which is USB re-addicted document. That is what they need, not Ngozi Fulani. It goes nowhere. That one is how you feel and what you think. That is your envy, your jealousness on your own. The world are not looking at that. And the ones after declaration, you are attacking that declaration. The world will see you as what? As a puppet. They see you as a spy against your people. So all this thing they are doing is in fact, it's only we. And that is why you see me, I don't bring them in my program, because they can never give us recognition. They can never stop the recognition. Look at it here, that those who get championing congressmen lobbying Washington D.C. Washington D.C. they said the only interest of Washington D.C. is what? Why people are going to Washington D.C.? There is a three-way people go to Washington D.C. One, their dollar. The dollar, most international trending and aid are tied of the U.S. currency and banking system. People are there in Washington D.C. Are you hearing it? These are street documents that are what hide from us. They also say people go to Washington D.C. because of, again, after the peaceful declaration, you need a backup on the military and your declaration territory. That is why USB went to there, registered the 40 states of the state of Biafra, and also for no country in this world to arrest or to tag our DPM any fraud, you have to register under the office of FERA, DOJ, the monitor your movement. This is why you are going there. You are not there because of the Washington D.C. and congressmen are giving recognition. No. Now they said that the microphone, that the Washington D.C. is like a press conference hall where people come and get many information and go back to the different territory. This is what it happens. So those are championing congressmen, presenting congressmen here and there. What they are doing is that it's like IPOB organization, bringing their people together, contributes money, went out and do protests, no account. Then now Ogen Kre championing Washington D.C. to his gullible is also the way has criminalize the people's mind to continue making the people. Nothing like recognition is coming out from Washington D.C., my brother. And the world are watching. Namibia is an example, Algeria is an example, Eritrea is an example. These are truth and figures, no two ways. That is why I told that USB is only the rightful way. It has happened before and it's going to happen again, my brother. They are wasting their time. That is why I don't talk about them.
Okay. Thank you. Now let me say this one word now before I stop, because I was discussing with you. That's one of our brother here in Ireland.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened. We gave this our brother after we gave one of our sister from Obosi document that her deportation was overturned. Okay. So this our brother, we also gave him document, but something happened. He did not release this document to IPO, the International Protection Organization, even in the next 2 months. And eventually one day, they refused him. And he began to call me, I said, have you sent the letter? He said, no. My brother, when they refused him now, they gave him deportation.
Okay.
But when he now was soliciting for more documents, because he said, I wanted to, because every time we go out, he takes pictures, so we use him as like our media head.
Okay.
But when he sent me why he was refused, the first page up, the international protection was questioning, because what the name appear in the documents, Briggy. They were questioning that document because it's like something they print from internet. I don't know how they did it up till today. He has not told me how he came about with that document. But at the end, they highlighted when we gave him this, when he submitted the one that United States of Biafra gave him under Department of Foreign Affairs. The international protection acknowledged that one.
Okay.
Showing that if he has brought this one the first time, that he stands chance to be considered. But because now he has messed it up with that first one he gave, he bears Ogenkere, Biafran government in exile. This document I'm telling you now, I have it. I send it to our head. I even send it to one of our brother Kai. I use it for program. So why I'm saying this now is based on what you are saying here. Because of these documents have infiltrated, USB government documents have gone everywhere in every table. This is purely recognition, Mass. I'm telling you, because
That is the
if
factor
they can
recognition.
tell you that it would have been considered, because that one they saw he has a phone, he has a website, he have email, it's verifiable document, and I will send it to you. You read it to yourself. They say we would have considered you if it was this second one, that the way they put the name is like a new document, because it has logo, it has the coat of arms, it has verifiable email, everything, website, and they said it there outrightly. So, but right now we are still trying to, giving him more documents, so that if let's see, so that the thing can be the deportation can be revised. So that's why I called him to, because when I was listening, you said something, both in EU, both in Brussels, which is the headquarters of EU, and in ECOWAS. United States of Biafra have put in everything
Don't even go
and just
far.
waiting.
That is the program of tomorrow. Tomorrow our program is where
Yes.
did Ogenkere submitted papers that will lead to Biafra recognition. They would only tell that Ogenkere is in Washington is having shaking hand. Then where the submitted, then you will see the work tomorrow. Don't worry. I have researched and get it right, because that is why I told that now that this gadget is in my hand, only in Wegihu. Those things I could not be able to get, now I am getting all of them.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, Maz. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. God bless you.
Yes, thank you. So, Biafrans, you are hearing the message. If you know what US documents stand for, if you have it, that is why I am always telling you, go and take obtain USB ID card. You don't know what it means. You don't know the meaning of USB ID card. If you know it, hey my God, you won't be here wasting your time. You had it here that a brother give Ogenkere's document and he's in the camp to be deported. Only what will save him right now is that he will tear that document and accept USB ID card. Sorry, US document in Ireland, where that's where it's happening. That is only where he can be released. An IPOB member was our family, was about to be deported back to Nigeria. What saves them till today? What turned back their deportation is what? United States of Biafra document. You don't understand it. Because you're a black man. You reason like that. You will never think of the other way around of what we are doing. You never think of things that are going to benefit you. And when they are giving you the real deal and you leave it, you would see USB. That is why if you see at my back, you will see on that green logo at my back, you will see red. That red you are seeing there is what? Is the map of USB. Is map of United States of Biafra has included in the map of the world and in Africa. I challenge you to go on the Google, type. Is there anything called, or just type, where can I find Biafran flag? Just go type that. Where can I find Biafran map? Where can I find Biafran map? What you will see when the map comes outside, the arrow will point hand on top and say United States of Biafra is what the map will be showing you. The map, there is arrow there proving that a new country is coming into the world, and you are there messing yourself up and dragging things that was not meant to drag. That is why we are telling you that only USB we are declared is the only option you have. Oh, hello, my brother. Thank you so much for your super chat. I greet you for giving me that one to drink water. Also to build this page. May Elohim bless you. May Elohim give you times 10 of what you have given to me on this, our platform. Thank you so much. So let us continue, my people. The truth. The checking point, the reality checking point. If you are thinking that Washington D.C. is only place for recognition, you are wrong. Do you hear that? You are wrong to think that Washington D.C. is the only place that you can get recognition. Like the shenanigan of Ogenkere, snapping pictures everywhere. The time is over. Please hit the like button. Share the program. Let others hear this message. You can also cut it and send it out. Now, we continue to the final reading.
First century, digital recognition is a new frontier.
Do you hear
A movement
it?
that gains mass.
In this 21st century, digital recognition is a new frontier. That is the document you are seeing today. Any country who accepted USB declared document has first give us de facto recognition, because you must first achieve de facto recognition before de jure recognition. You have to recognition de facto, de jure recognition. Countries like Kosovo, Taiwan, Somaliland has been on the de facto recognition over all this while. Now, Somaliland has exited from the de facto to the jure because of recognition of the member of the UN. One again, say, stop deceiving yourself. It's not about Ngozi Arabeze. It's about a country. It's not about those you like and those you hate. No, it is about the legal framework. It is about the 21st century law. It is about the digital recognition first before the grand one. If you know things that I under research, I find out. Know that USB is, has done us proud. So far, so good. Like I told tomorrow, we are going to give you the achievement of Ogenkere. And we're going to give you the achievement of Ngozi Arabeze. Then you will know. It's in the open. It's only they hide it from you. All this is in the document. Biafra Declaration has a document and a video. This is a pure truth. I want you to know.
Traction on social media can force the hands of distant governments. In this sense, the internet is a virtual capital city that didn't exist in the 20th century. Why DC still feels like the only choice? You aren't wrong to feel that DC is the ultimate prize. There are three main reasons why people flock there. The dollar. Most international trade and aid are tied to US currency and banking systems. Military deterrence. A peaceful declaration often needs a powerful friend to ensure it stays peaceful. The megaphone. The DC press corps can turn a local declaration into a global headline overnight. The reality check. While DC can grant diplomatic life, true long-term recognition requires a balance. A nation recognized only by the US but ignored by its neighbors often struggles to survive. Would you like me to look up specific examples of recently declared states and see which cities they visited first to get recognized?
One minute network.
Looking at recent history and current 2026 developments, your observation about the importance of major capitals is spot on. However, the path to recognition varies wildly depending on the region and the political climate. Here is a look at how three modern movements have navigated this process. 1. South Sudan, the gold standard path. South Sudan is the most recent state to gain near universal recognition, 2011. Their strategy was a masterclass in multi-city diplomacy. Nairobi, Kenya. This was arguably more important than DC initially. The comprehensive peace agreement was signed here. Without regional backing from neighbors, the US would...
Do you hear South Sudan send someone to Washington D.C.? They bypassed Washington D.C. They said that the argument in Nairobi, Kenya is more comprehensive than Washington D.C. Because why do they do that? They said that if your neighbor did not recognize you, that if only America recognizes you, that you are going to struggle to survive. And now champion Washington D.C. And next thing for the about building you are in a Mali, if not comments on it, nonsense.
stepped in. Washington, D.C., the U.S. provided the diplomatic muscle to ensure the referendum actually happened and that the results were respected. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, they secured the blessing of the African Union.
Are you hearing it? To secure the blessings of African new countries, you must go to where? EU is what they're talking about. It's so Washington D.C. South Sudan, Somaliland did not have anybody representing them in the Washington D.C. for lobby. But look at them today. They went to country by country, like what USB is doing tomorrow. After tomorrow pass, you did not forget about Ogenkere. That means you are the same method of IPOB people. That's why I told you now, and keep as well. Level on one agabos where I before. Because what I'm reading here today is for 3 months. I've been looking for this thing in Washington D.C. I could not be able to see it. I've been searching on this. I couldn't, but in these few days, look at it here with all the full document of those has passing this road that we are passing through today. Eh? Look at it here. Look at it. Number one, Sudan. Where did Sudan begin their business? South Sudan is the most recent state to gain the near survival recognition 2011. Their strategy was a multiple diplomacy. Nairobi is where they start their own. They did not stand for Washington D.C. in America. And they said, go see now to go this was a grabbable more important than DC. That where they started was more important than Washington. Could you hear that? That starting in the Nairobi, Kenya was more important than Washington D.C. Could you hear that? And you are here. And the DC vote, like I told you before. Internal. The comprehensive peace agreement was signed here in Nairobi, Kenya, without original backing from the neighbors. The US would haven't stepped in. If African countries, if from EU did not back us up, America, you are there claiming congressmen cannot be able to come in. America, you are claiming there cannot come in. The only way America comes in is when a nearby neighbor, like the way it is now, African countries that recognized Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu in 1967 to 1970, they are still there as a witness. This is how when they come out to make it openly again, it gives US power to come. You remember that a man in America who come to our declaration in Finland said that America will not be the first or be the first, but they might be the last. But once they come, they have come. You forgot. Washington D.C. Congressmen, I challenge you to give me one country in the world because of congressmen and Washington D.C. and the lobby. That is why they are country today and gain recognition. Can you give me one? If you present one, I will close this YouTube. I will not talk again. Give me one, all of you. I challenge you, go 247. I challenge you, Sana Akwarawa. I challenge you, Chiamaka Ajere, all the media, all the IPOB member. Give me one country that protest has, because of their protest, they become a country today. One is what I ask for you. Give me one country in the world that because of protest, because of their group of people, their brand recognition, if you give me one, I will shut my Facebook down. I will shut my YouTube page down. I will not talk again. I challenge you. Then on Ogenkere and his gullible, give me one country because of the Washington D.C. in Africa or in Europe, they got recognition because of Washington D.C., because of lobby and congressmen. Give me one. Bring one out. Just give, type and research. Let me give how you can go. Just type and research. I want to know about how many countries, because of congressmen and the lobby, they get recognition from the UN and they become a sovereign full nation. Just type this and find out by yourself. If you can bring one out, I said, I will close my YouTube page. I will not serve him again. Because if you not, get away from the road. What you think, how you feel, is no way to get Biafra as a country. Give me one. Like I said, Washington D.C., Washington D.C. I would Washington D.C. my foot. Africa, in Africa, look at it. They said here, what did they say here? Listen to this. This was a more important than Washington D.C. Nairobi, Kenya, it was more important than Washington D.C. Internal is more important when it comes to recognition of a country. African countries, that is what they call internal. The comprehensive peace agreement was signed here without regional backing from the near neighbors. The U.S. would not have stepped in. The U.S. wouldn't step in if there is no African country back us up. A na-egbu gị 419 na-erigo gbakara otere na-egbu gị mma mmiri na-ego gị nwa mmugwu na-atụ ego na-enye akpọrọ gị na Washington D.C. erenchara gị hall with ego go another IPOB method. Another IPOB method. Anyị tụọ ego i contribute eje renchara gị hall ị ga-ama ego n'ọbụ agwa gị na ego n'ikwere erie gị mma mmiri ị nọ na-ekwugheri. Instead of you to attack those that go back to oge nkere ji gị n'ọrụ, you are business of oge nkere. That is who you are. Oge nkere ji gị na-emere business. Ọ bụ na ị maka ị mara. Can oge, I don't want to, that is why tomorrow come, I will give you the achievement of oge nkere. Then I will present to you tomorrow the achievement of Otongozo Arabeze. I will give you achievement of oge nkere in the morning. By this time tomorrow, I will give you achievement and where Ogenkre submitted documents and where the submitted documents. So who will know who is doing the needful. Tomorrow. Like I said, our program tomorrow centralized on the movement of the recognition of Biafra. That is what we are going to do tonight. I told you, Biafra, if you see this time around, the things I couldn't get then, now I'm getting them. I am still learning how to use it. I want to learn it in a way that when I come, I will put it on a live stream so you will be reading with me also. We are no longer in what I think, what I feel. No. It's no longer in that form. Look at it. Washington, D.C., the U.S. provided digital muzzle to ensure the referendum actually happened, and that is the result where we do what? We be respected. Now that is why our DPM put our self-referendum vote, register it in America under the FERA, under the DOJ. That is only the work of the Washington D.C. Not that the Washington D.C. is the one giving recognition. In Africa, Somaliland did not go, South Sudan, they did not go into Washington D.C. for congressmen. Because, why are we there? Because our government that is why we can also, for them to back us up. And because of the country we are fighting for, we registered everything so they can monitor the movement and the things that USB is doing. So nobody can arrest Ngozi Arabeze. You can't sue her and win her anywhere in the world because she is into what they call digital recognition first. The word who said in this 21st century that they want that their front line is digital recognition, not longer battlefield recognition. Not Ogenkere's handshake. It's not digital. You must continue. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, they secure their blessings of the African Union first. South Sudan secured the blessings from African countries organizing them. They secure Africa first. That is what? AU. That's why I told you we will not achieve this recognition without AU interfering. We must drag them until they agree. We must present all the evidence. As we are presenting to them, we are presenting to the world to see that AU in Africa has colluded with Nigeria. They refuse to accept the truth. They want to do what they have done to us in the 1960s, 1967. 1970 to 1970. This is how we drag them. And that's where they said that what is not obtainable in the 18th and 19th and 20s is obtainable. What is that? They said that social media was not obtainable, that the internet was not obtainable in that time, but 21st century, that is all about internet pressure, media pressure. That is how we drag EU everywhere, drag AU. While dragging them on social media, it becomes a digital movement that eyes are seeing. In our ego, energy congressman, energy and aka. Another method of IPOB, atu ego eje protest, about ego nke ahụ efua, ekerie ya. Oge nkiri je fundraising, host where na Canada, or beyond atokota ego nye, or the rent around Walbury Hall, or go no grown no ya na rent hall, ya na akwụ ụgwọ ụmụ okoko mmeng. Inoye na mmiri ncha aba aga anya. Na-erigo gbakọrọ otu na-egbughị mma mmiri na-atọ gị ụtọ. Amaghịzi m ebe ha nọ nke ikpeazụ. I am not seeing on my comment section again. Come and bring that to your lobby. Oge nkere Washington D.C. What is the best they're doing? Tomorrow I will give you all he is doing, and I will give you one oge nkere ka ifere egbuo gị tomorrow. Nwa bonzo. Na-ekwugeri. South Sudan first win what? They win from the blessings of the secure Africa blessings first, which prevent other African nations from view their secession as a threat to their own borders. You first, that's what they said. Charity begins at where? At home. Charity begins where? At home. That is where charity begins. Coaches offer to I see you. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, I see you. Thanks so much for coming. Please, like I said, there is a comment, there is a link on top of this screen. If you can scroll the way I want to scroll now, please scroll like this, bring it down, then you will see this link here. This is my Facebook link. Just follow me on Facebook. I need 100 followers for me to be streaming live on YouTube. I want to go any media to preach this message. Now, if follow Adigo. Opposing by follow Adihozi. If follow Adigo. So just please, if you can, just help me to follow me on. Just I need you to follow for me to, because they said once I get 100 followers, I can be able to go live on Facebook. The same time we on here, we can be there preaching this message. Only YouTube is not enough, because I find out that they say that after a peaceful declaration with a very good structure of a government, that you don't even need lobby. You don't need congressmen. You have to do it by yourself. You have to do it. And that's what USB is doing. That is why we have a structure of a government. That is why we are not championing congressmen. That is why we are not snapping picture in Washington D.C. The three pillars of recognition, Washington D.C. is not there. I hope you know. The three pillars of recognition, Washington D.C. is not there. Let us treat the issue of Somaliland. From there you will understand something. Then number 2, Somaliland, the function part, how Somaliland function in these 35 years, in these 34 years before Israel recognition. Listen to this. Listen.
First, which prevented other African nations from viewing the secession as a threat to their own borders. 2. Somaliland, the functional path. Somaliland has operated as a de facto independent state for decades but lacked formal recognition until very recently. Hargeisa to Jerusalem. In a major shift in late 2025, Israel became the first UN member state to formally recognize Somaliland. The UAE connection. Before formal recognition, the UAE, specifically Abu Dhabi, treated them as a sovereign partner by investing heavily in the port of Berbera. The DC strategy, 2026, right now, Somaliland is lobbying the US Congress, specifically through the...
Do you hear something? In all these years of Somaliland was busy focusing in African territory. They was focusing in different countries. It's after this recognition that they have come into Washington D.C. for the congressmen. Can you hear it? Can you hear that? Now I know why our DPM is not championing congressmen and lobby in Washington D.C. She is following the template of Namibia, Algeria, South Sudan. Is the template our DPM is. I will tell you that one in advance. Against tomorrow, you will hear everything, how it happens. You will hear how everything happens, my people. Stop being deceived. Stop deceiving yourself, because you are not deceiving yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Your hatred on Ngozarabeze cannot stop recognition. You are Ngozarabo Fulani, and the world can never stop recognition. Lie to lie. So far, she has this document. The 4 effective group that was being created after Namibia declaration, the world, the UN addressed them as puppets. They addressed them as spies. They addressed them as the destroyer of their own people. And they forced them to go back and join when they give the SWAPO, the recognition of Namibia. How? And we are still here. You are saying that woman who lead that movement was also called Terror. She called all these names you are calling our DPM today. They called her. But the question is, does it stop recognition? The answer is purely hell no. Does not stop it. Does not. You had it here clearly. It's now that Somaliland has come back to away from the congressmen in US to keep their mandate of recognition from Israel. You see? But they remain in de facto. And under that de facto, their country, having their military, having their police, having their currency, everything is working. And they use congressmen the same way IPOB use protest to deceive their gullible. The same way Ogenkre is using congressmen to deceive you. Today, Imam Madwabu is using a white lawyer to deceive you. Okay, don't even know here itself. Well, Egemonia, can we keep the history Biafra the way Namibia has written their own out, the 8th group that has worked against them, and the effective 4 that worked against them also. Let's continue.
Somaliland Economic Access and Opportunity Act to bypass the State Department and gain functional economic recognition. 3. Bougainville, the patient's path. After a 98%.
This Bougainville is another country that is emerging from South Africa again. Among the exile government, if not the first of USB, they are number 1 in Africa. I don't know, this Bougainville, their country coming out from South Africa, they call them what? The patient part, because they have been there for long. Listen, we are not only the one, and we're not going to be the last. This Bougainville was there before us. They have been agitating and protesting in exile also. Let's continue.
Yes, vote for independence from Papua New Guinea. Bougainville is currently in the middle.
This Bougainville, they are in exile in Guinea, Papua Guinea. That is where they are. They want to exit from South Africa, the same South Africa again, and their movement is moving very fast. Though they are moving. You wouldn't hear about them, because that's why I told you that you must know there is what they call government in exile. That's USB for Umu Okoko and IPOB, for them to know that this is a way people get their freedom, through a government in exile.
The multi-year transition. Port Moresby, PNG. Their most important visits aren't to foreign capitals, but to the capital of the country they are leaving. International law and the UN rarely recognizes a new state unless the parent state agrees to the divorce first. The 2027 goal. They are currently working on a roadmap to achieve full sovereignty by September 2027, focusing on building a constitution that the UN will accept.
Are you hearing it? They are building constitution that UN will accept. Their focus in 2027 is what? For them to get officially international recognition. They said what? They are currently working on the road map. They never present their map. You see the difference why USB has taken over them, become number one in Africa. Because USB has present a map of the 40 state of Biafra. And look at it here in the world. Look at my back. Look at my back. You will see the map. Look at my map. I hope you see the map. I hope you see that map. That red, and you see the flag. You will see the flag of USB. What you see there is USB, is what we are seeing there. That arrow there is when you throw that arrow on the gun. What you will see United States of Biafra. Umo oko. And then you go na-egbughị mma mmiri oge nkere eje isi ụlọ gwọcha ọgwụ tu n'ime ite ị na-atụ ego na-enye ya. Instead of to focus on the truth. This country from South Africa today that want to, what is laying them? Why USB overtake them? Because they have been there before us. Why we overpower them is because of what? We overtake because of they are currently working on a roadmap to achieve fully sovereignty by September 2027. Their roadmap will be ready, but USB roadmap is ready. Our own is ready out there. We register it in the United States of Biafra, in the U.S. Department of the DOJ. Mokoko. Let's continue. Listen.
Summary of strategy. Goal. Primary city. Legal legitimacy. New York, UN, regional stability. Addis Ababa,
Where do you see Washington D.C.? The first goal of primary city recognition is from where? The legal legitimacy, New York, UN. Recognition and stability, Addis Ababa, AU, or Brazzaville, EU. Are you hearing it? This is where they are. Now, listen to where they mention America. When they mention the Washington D.C., Ogen Kereb is a criminal. There is money he's trying to borrow from Washington D.C. That is why he's remaining there. Financial and military power. Financial aspect of it is why Ogen Kereb is there in Washington D.C. Now, de facto survival, recognition, trending housings are by African country and also Abu Dhabi in where? Look at what the world, Singapore. Look at it here. Look at what the world wants. Look at where they need you to go. UN, United Nations headquarters, New York. If you get trip into New York, they will arrest him tomorrow. Because all he's coming from is from fake. Like that brother in Ireland, he gave a fake document. That brother is remain in Persian camp today. He has turned back to beg USB to give document for him to be free, because IPOB family who's supposed to be deported, they give them, they agreed and accepted US document today. They have turned their deportation. They are no longer, Ireland is no longer deporting them anymore. Ireland is no longer deporting them anymore. What is your problem? You think that the recognition is coming from Washington D.C. They're deceiving you for nothing. None of that. As I'm putting the link for people to come in, I will play it again. As I'm playing it, I will put the link. After that, we're going to go to where second section of can recognition come from Washington D.C. You are going to hear it here. This is not time they are hiding documents from me, because what we have now is autopilot on the research. You don't know. I want to know when we leave. All time in the school, I'm going to time. Can I wait on social media? Can I put this pressure? Listen to this. After this,
that is a really interesting perspective on how power works in the modern world. There is definitely a strong argument that Washington, D.C. remains the town square of global politics. If a new movement or nation wants immediate financial backing or media visibility, DC is usually the first stop. However, international recognition is a bit more like a puzzle than a single door. While the US is a massive piece of that puzzle, it isn't the only one. Here is how international recognition actually functions in the 21st century. The 3 pillars of recognition. 1. The United Nations, New York, while DC holds the political teeth. The UN headquarters in New York is the legal gateway. To be a real country in the eyes of the world, you generally need a recommendation from the Security Council and a 2/3 vote in the General Assembly. Without this, even if the US likes you, you remain in a gray zone, like Kosovo or Taiwan. 2. Regional power centers. Depending on where a declaration happens, other cities can be just as vital for survival. Brussels, for anything in Europe or involving trade and human rights standards. Addis Ababa, the seat of the African Union, essential for any new African state to gain legitimacy. Beijing, increasingly, for nations in Asia and Africa, China's recognition is the key to infrastructure and no-strings-attached investment. 3. The Court of Public Opinion. In the 21st century, digital recognition is a new frontier. A movement that gains massive traction on social media can force the hands of distant governments. In this sense, the internet is a virtual capital city that didn't exist in the 20th century. Why DC still feels like the only choice? You aren't wrong to feel that DC is the ultimate prize. There are 3 main reasons why people flock there. The dollar. Most international trade and aid are tied to US currency and banking systems. Military deterrence. A peaceful declaration often needs a powerful friend to ensure it stays peaceful. The megaphone. The DC press corps can turn a local declaration into a global headline overnight. The reality check. While DC can grant diplomatic life, true long-term recognition requires a balance. A nation recognized only by the US but ignored by its neighbors often struggles to survive. Would you like me to look up specific examples of recently declared states and see which cities they visited first to get recognized? Looking at recent history and current 2026 developments, your observation about the importance of major capitals is spot on. However, the path to recognition varies wildly depending on the region and the political climate. Here is a look at how 3 modern movements have navigated this process. 1. South Sudan, the gold standard path. South Sudan is the most recent state to gain near universal recognition, 2011. Their strategy was a masterclass in multi-city diplomacy. Nairobi, Kenya. This was arguably more important than DC initially. The comprehensive peace agreement was signed here. Without regional backing from neighbors, the US wouldn't have stepped in. Washington, D.C. The US provided the diplomatic muscle to ensure the referendum actually happened and that the results were respected. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, they secured the blessing of the African Union first, which prevented other African nations from viewing the secession as a threat to their own borders. 2. Somaliland, the functional path. Somaliland has operated as a de facto independent state for decades but lacked formal recognition, until very recently. Hargeisa to Jerusalem. In a major shift in late 2025, Israel became the first UN member state to formally recognize Somaliland. The UAE connection. Before formal recognition, the UAE, specifically Abu Dhabi, treated them as a sovereign partner by investing heavily in the port of Berbera. The DC strategy, 2026, right now, Somaliland is lobbying the US Congress, specifically through the Somaliland Economic Access and Opportunity Act, to bypass the State Department and gain functional economic recognition. 3. Bougainville, the patience path. After a 98% yes vote for independence from Papua New Guinea, Bougainville is currently in the middle of a multi-year transition. Port Moresby, PNG. Their most important visits aren't to foreign capitals, but to the capital of the country they are leaving. International law, and the UN, rarely recognizes a new state unless the parent state agrees to the divorce first. The 2027 goal. They are currently working on a roadmap to achieve full sovereignty by September 2027, focusing on building a constitution that the UN will accept. Summary of strategy. Goal. Primary city. Legal legitimacy. New York, UN, regional stability. Addis Ababa, or Brussels, EU, financial and military power. Washington, D.C. de facto survival. Regional trade hubs, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, while D.C. provides the loudest recognition. A peaceful declaration in the 21st century usually requires a regional-first strategy. If your neighbors don't recognize your borders or your ID cards, even a nod from the U.S. president won't make a country functional on the ground. Would you like to look into the specific legal criteria the UN uses to decide if a peaceful declaration is valid under international law?
I hope you had it here that UN is one who decided, not you, and not what you think. You have how other countries in Africa has moved on and get recognition. And today you are here. And I need to give my money. Well, let me welcome my brother, Oli God. Thank you so much for coming. You can mute yourself. While I mute myself to avoid echoing, please. So have the mic and go on. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to make clarification because from what you are saying, I'm going to send you that document, that thing that happened in Ireland here. What I said was that man was our member, number one, United States of Biafra. But I am the one also who introduced him to the lawyer. The lawyer lived very far away from where it's about 3 or 4 hours to get there. But he was one of the he was one of the people the United States of Biafra gave the first 12 documents to give to IPO, which is International Protection Organization. But something happened when that document was given to him. I didn't know he did not submit it. And eventually, they gave him deportation. Here in Ireland, when they gave him this deportation, I begin to question it. How did this happen? Did you not send that first 12-page letter that we gave to you? He said no. I asked him why. He said that he said something about that lawyer. Even send me, I had to call the lawyer myself. The lawyer was even asking me, Sanarish, if I am a lawyer myself. I said, no, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm telling you, this is a legal document given to your client. And you did not forward the documents. Now, eventually, when he decided to give that document to the lawyer now, the lawyer submitted the document to International Protection Organization. Now, at the end, they still refused him and gave him deportation. Now, the same lawyer is asking him now, go and get more documents if you really say you are from the United States of Biafran government. While I was questioning that, the guy now forwarded his rejection letter from International Protection from the Department of Justice. And he also sent me the reason why he was rejected. My brother began to go through this document. Eventually, the first one up, I saw Biafra government in exile. I saw Ogenkere. I called him back, saying, my brother, how did this document come into your system? He said he doesn't know. No, I said, no, you have to tell me because the government or USB will also question me because they gave me a letter to give to you. I have the document. I said, how did this name? He said maybe his lawyer went to internet and printed it. And I did not believe that. My brother, when I begin to read, at the done, I will send this document to the done of it now was where they begin to highlight to him why he was refused, why he's facing deportation right now. They told him openly in that letter that period to that first one he gave, which Biaso Genkere, and government in exile, I don't know, he had been with us for a long time. I don't know how he got it. I don't know how the lawyer pushed that kind of thing. So, but they told him at the document, last one they gave to him, that one he later submitted after 2 months, that him, that same man, that he would have been considered had they seen this first document. This is which is this one we gave to him. But they don't know what they classified the one he gave for, that this document have no, it has no root. They assume it was printed from the internet because there is no coat of arms, there is no address, there is no phone number, there is no website. So they said no. We would have considered you, but because of this first one, we are refusing you. Mazi, I'm telling you the truth. Why I'm saying this is, I'm going to send the document. Maybe when you read, you analyze it more, because this is basically based on what you are saying about if a country can take your document, if they can accept it with USB. After that, now, the government have been able now, because as I'm talking to you now, you talked about digital. Listen, the United States of Biafran government have introduced something that they call it citizen, the citizen identification. My brother, that citizenship identification form certificate that those are in asylum is digital. If any government, you don't need, you just scan it. That's what they call that Q something. You just scan it. The thing will bring the person information. That is what the United States of Biafran government having introduced right now. Now we have given this our brother the same document, and he has submitted it. He went to Dublin to Cork, and this lawyer was jubilating that this thing that he brought now, that they have given him power and more power to fight for him. Now, the first one was our sister. I keep saying it, she have even come to thank the government. She's from Obosi. He has packed his load, Marcy. He has packed his load to go home. United States of Biafra gave her this document, 12 page. She submitted it. Marcy, as I'm talking to you today, that sister who had packed her load to go home, her deportation had been revoked. Once they revoked it automatically, this lady called me. She was the first person USB government gave document here in Ireland. This lady was jubilating. Today she's here in this island.
Wow.
So
Wow.
my brother, I want to use this opportunity while you are educating us to tell people in Republic of Ireland to wake up. We have gone beyond IPOB, BGC, Ogenkere. All these things are not, they are not viable anymore. I was also an oath member of IPOB. But the thing, you have to know, like what you are saying, 21st century, to get a nation, which Dr. Rabesa have been able to push all the documents in every institution. That's why I told you that, and that if Ogenkere take anybody that take any document that Biafra government in exile, we must be in big trouble. Even in Ireland, we have met with Jim, the Minister of Justice. We have met him, we gave him document, we spoke to him face to face. And we talked to him, said, this is what we are going through. If any of Biafran person is taking home, the person will be killed. The minister was like, are you for it? So I want to take this your platform, because it's wide now, to tell people in Republic of Ireland, to people, you need to belong to a government here in Ireland. You apply for your ID card. And the number to call, again, let me just make this brief, my brother. I'm so sorry to take your time. Is plus 353 899 66 Again, plus 353 899 66 That's number for Republic of Ireland, United States of Biafra, here in Ireland. You can call in, you will be directed, you join the platform, you do your ID card, you'll be captured. Let us drop all this, like this Iraqi said about carrying flag up and down. The world have gone beyond this stage. And like you challenge everybody, and I want to see that challenge come to pass. Let them come and tell you who agitation or who carrying flag have given recognition. Mazi, this stage we are now, I want to thank you so much. And we are looking forward to welcoming you tomorrow to give us details. Our score,
No,
our scorecard, which
tomorrow
I know
is to
is
score.
very,
We need
very,
to keep the match tomorrow.
Thank you.
It's huge. Thank you so much. Oluchima God, thanks so much, my brother, for coming. You heard it from him direct. That is where he live in Ireland and he's bringing a report of what is happening in Ireland. Not they say she's also in charge. He's in charge. He has call the number if you're in Ireland. Save yourself. If you don't have paper in Ireland, USB will help you to give you automatically asylum paper. You will be remain. Remember that sister from IPOB camp has today rejoiced and give thanks to USB. Somebody who has packed his load to go back automatically because of USB intervention. What happened? He becomes a new person who is living in Ireland with a document paper right now. Stop undermining the truth. Your hatred, your word, cannot tell what to do. She is not the first person. And she is not going to be the last person. In this world that we are into, many people, many countries a woman has given them their country. I want to remind you again because we are here with fact and figure, with evidence. We have it. I want to open the history book when there is no gadget, where I normally write things after the research, where I put everything I want to show you for you to see the truth out. We have Prince. We have someone here. Yes, so you're welcome, my brother. Good evening from here. Good evening, Prince.
Is it me that you are calling your brother?
Ha! Although when we get Prince God we lazy. In the basic for one I don't know ama kwanke no dia.
Only God I cannot die.
Only God no here, yes. He's still
Why
here.
do you give my daddy line before me?
Odogu.
Daddy, I respect.
Ezoku kuoto.
Ganna.
Thank you. You are welcome to our platform, to our studio. You are welcome. Thank you so much for being inside the studio today. I am really honored and very happy that you are here.
And thank you too for making it possible for us to be privileged to talk to you, our professor, with a new double dimension, new silencer. That even the UN, they are UN, not even Biafran. So UN are afraid of what you are saying because the truth about what they said for recognition, you have hold them in their scrutinum. So UN are afraid, and they are finding a possible way to escape on what they brought out for the recognition of a new state. So they don't know what to do again. So I thank you very much for giving us somebody like me privilege to speak on this hallowed platform. But as you grow, as it matures, please, can you try to regulate the echoing voice? Because when we are talking and you are talking, it will be echoing. I know you are going to do that small. I want to answer your question, or I want to tell you what you ask or what you want to know. Yes, I have seen a country that have recognized. There is a country that recognized IPOB because of agitation. And it happened last week in Britain. Britain recognized them. Did you see the recognition?
I did not see it. The only thing I see was deportation. Is only the thing I see.
No, they were
They
recognized.
were recognized. They won't care if we take 5 cents.
I never see you. I don't know who is this one. I will remove you. Yeah, go on. I have removed those ones.
They are recognized when they come out on the road and marching, beating their drum. That is a recognition now. Washington D.C. recognized Briggy with the photo and the and the fake audio. They recognize them. What are you talking about? Hey, dear friends, I am happy to be here. I thank all of you, and I am so excited, and I wish everybody happy Biafra. We need to share this. We need to alert the whole world by recognizing ourselves. The application for our document ID card is the fastest paved way for us to be recognized. Not only about asylum that the United States of Biafra can do. Yes, that one may be even the secondary. So as we are happy with this, our United States, I want us again to be happy with our mother, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Because if not because of her, are you the person that will do it? Do you understand when somebody told you, listen, my friend, or my brother, or my sister, I am cooked for this job? Do you know what it means? That I am cooked for this job. And who are the person that cooked her? Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, and our PM, Simon Ekpa. Where were you when Nnamdi Kanu was cooking in Ngozi Orabueze? Where were you when Simon Ekpa was cooking in Ngozi Orabueze? Do you know? I am asking you, do you know Umokoko? Were you there? So because of that, we need to be happy with our DPM. It's not easy. So anywhere she is, I am joining the voices of Biafra to say thank you, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. You remain our mother, the only person that stood on the podium of about 1700 and declare the United States of Biafra without fear. And almost 700 or 500 participants signed that they agree with it. With our honorable justice that affirmed the declaration. Iwunze, Jane, we thank you very much for what you and your cabinet are doing to make us be in the place or in the position that we are. As our brother said, that Biafra, United States of Biafra, is the first among others as a emerging country that is coming. Thank you, that you, rich God, what we are doing in Ireland and other missions, head missions in different countries, Norway, Netherlands, France, Sweden, Germany, England. We are congratulating all of you. This is the government we are talking about. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to give you people insight, direction. And nobody should be seeing him or herself at what she thinks or what she knows. It is about what is right. What is the right? The global international recognition to go to our foreign land or to our sovereign land. Thank you. Ray Biafra TV. Oyo na-achụ ga-ada. Oyi na-achụkwanụ ga-ada. Eluigwe ga-emegide. Ana ga-emegide Amadioha. Ọkụ mmụọ. Ikwu nna. Utonsu na-eto amagụ. Ha ncha niile ga-emegide onye ọbụla si na ọ ga-adịrị na mma.
Ise.
Ndewo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, Biafrans, what we are doing is we are doing a show. We are not in the hiding, and we're not afraid anymore because we have a government. We have a very, very quality standard government of the world. We have it right now in United States of Biafra government. If you are still wasting your time, I urge you to stop. That link I post there is the link of our words. You will see the link of our ID card. Follow that link or join us in my WhatsApp group. I always post the link there for you to have the USB link to make sure that you have your ID card. It's for your own good though. Look at the protests and the recognition they give to IPOB. Is Tinubu. That protest leads to Tinubu to sign protection of all Biafrans because you know that we are in a large number in the UK. That protest has triggered that's you see Tinubu signing about the protection. The only one will serve you is USB document, USB ID card, USB resident permit. That is what will serve you. It's not about Ngozarabeze, like I always tell you. It's not about your hatred. It's not about your envy and your jealousness. But it is about what the international community wants and how they view everything and how they see it, not how you see it and not how you think and how you reason. That is not bringing Biafra. What I'm going to play for you right now, which we are going to explain more in details about that, is to ensure I'm telling you today, when you have heard me telling you that the Washington D.C. is not where you have to go and get your free recognition. Washington D.C. is not giving recognition. What is giving recognition? Sorry for that. Sorry about that. It's part of it. Yes, this is the documents I want us to go into. So listen to this. Because of those who are still doubting USB we are declared. Listen to this. Sorry for that delay.
The short answer is no. While the United States is a global superpower, it does not have a monopoly on the legal existence of a new country. Recognition is a sovereign act, meaning any independent nation on Earth has the power to recognize a new state. Here is how the authority to recognize a new country is actually distributed across the world. 1. The power of other sovereign nations. Any of the 193 member states of the United Nations, UN, can independently choose to recognize a new country. Example: if Sweden, France, or South Africa decides to recognize a new state, they can do so without asking for permission from Washington, D.C. diplomatic impact. While U.S. recognition carries immense political and economic weight, a country can technically function and trade if it has the support of other regional powers. 2. Who in the USA actually holds the power? There is often a misunderstanding about who in the U.S. government gives recognition. It is not a collective decision by the entire government. The president, executive branch, under U.S. law, affirmed by the Supreme Court in Zivotofsky versus Kerry, the president has the exclusive power to recognize foreign states. Congress, congressman. A congressman or the entire Congress cannot formally recognize a country. They can pass resolutions to show support or urge the president to act, but these are usually symbolic and not legally binding. 3. The United Nations, collective recognition. The highest form of recognition is becoming a member of the United Nations. This is a multi-step process that requires more than just U.S. approval. The Security Council must recommend the country. This requires 9 out of 15 votes, and none of the permanent 5, USA, UK, France, China, Russia, can use their veto. The General Assembly, once recommended, 2/3 of all world nations, 129 countries, must vote yes to admit the new state. The 2 paths to statehood. In international law, there are 2 main theories on how a country becomes real theory. Requirement: declarative theory. A country exists if it has a permanent population, defined territory, government, and the capacity to enter relations. Based on the Montevideo Convention. Constitutive theory. A country only exists once it is recognized by other states. Summary. While a yes from Washington, D.C. is a massive advantage for a new country's economy and security, it is not a legal requirement. A country can be born through the recognition of any other state or by meeting the physical requirements of governing a territory and a people. Would you like to see a list of countries that are currently recognized by some nations but not by the United States?
I hope you heard it clearly. This is part of the program of this week. This week we have loaded many things to give to you. Do you heard it here that there is no country because of lobby? That is why they grab recognition. It never happened anywhere. That is why I told you, bring that to your evidence. That thing you are championing, bring it out. If you bring any country that because of the lobby or because of their shaking hand in the UN, sorry, the shaking hand in the Washington D.C. is why they get recognition. I said, I will shut my YouTube page down because of you. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Bring where lobby, congressmen, Washington D.C. has got recognition in this entire world that we are living into. Bring it out. Show me. I said, if you present it, then what I will do, I said, I will shut this YouTube down. As my time is adhering to time to leave, I will only be playing you this last one that we are going to discuss. Have this in your mind. It's one of the first programs tomorrow before we go into the achievement of Conuntrie in Washington D.C. after our declaration, and the achievement of Ngozi Oraigbelia Cabinet members after our declaration. Tomorrow, you are going to hear it here. Tomorrow, Ogadiegu. The short answer is what? No. Why the United Nations is a global power, but it does not have the monopoly to legalize a existence of a new country recognition in Washington D.C. In a German handshake, in a German lobby. That is what you think that will give us Biafra recognition. You are deceiving the gullible that are following you. You can't deceive us anymore. We are wiser and we are smart, and we this time around we are very, very mad about what we are going to do to achieve Biafra recognition. Listen again.
The short answer is no. While the United States is a global superpower, it does not have a monopoly on the legal existence of a new country. Recognition is a sovereign act, meaning any independent nation on Earth has the power to recognize a new state. Here is how the authority to recognize a new country is actually distributed across the world. 1. The power of other sovereign nations. Any of the 193 member states of the United Nations, UN, can independently choose to recognize a new country. Example: if Sweden, France, or South Africa decides to recognize a new state, they can do so without asking for permission from Washington, D.C. diplomatic impact. While U.S. recognition carries immense political and economic weight, a country can technically function and trade if it has the support of other regional powers. 2. Who in the USA actually holds the power? There is often a misunderstanding about who in the U.S. government gives recognition. It is not a collective decision by the entire government. The President, executive branch, under U.S. law, affirmed by the Supreme Court in Zivotofsky versus Kerry, the President has the exclusive power to recognize foreign states. Congress, congressman. A congressman or the entire Congress cannot formally recognize a country. They can pass resolutions to show support or urge the President to act, but these are usually symbolic and not legally binding. 3. The United Nations, collective recognition. The highest form of recognition is becoming a member of the United Nations. This is a multi-step process that requires more than just U.S. approval. The Security Council must recommend the country. This requires 9 out of 15 votes, and none of the permanent 5, USA, UK, France, China, Russia, can use their veto. The General Assembly, once recommended, 2/3 of all world nations, 129 countries, must vote yes to admit the new state. The 2 paths to statehood. In international law, there are 2 main theories on how a country becomes real theory. Requirement: declarative theory. A country exists if it has a permanent population, defined territory, government, and the capacity to enter relations. Based on the Montevideo Convention. Constitutive theory. A country only exists once it is recognized by other states. Summary: while a yes from Washington, D.C. is a massive advantage for a new country's economy and security, it is not a legal requirement. A country can be born through the recognition of any other state or by meeting the physical requirements of governing a territory and a people. Would you like to see a list of countries that are currently recognized by some nations but not by the United States?
I hope you had the question clearly. That's why I challenge all of you who are championing what you do on social media today. You had it, you must be a country. You must present yourself as a country before other country will recognize you. That is the law of the 21st century. This is what has been there before us. Not even before the 21st century. It has become an existing existing law. Did you hear it here? That Washington D.C. is not the way for you are always in there for the finance and the security. But when it's come to the international recognition, it's a politics of other countries to recognize you like a country. And you must present yourself as a country before others recognize you as a country. So my people, we are going to leave it here. I greet all of you who called today, those in the comment section. I greet all of you for all your wonderful submission today. Like I said, you have had it here. The recognition of a new nation is not coming from the Washington D.C. It's not coming from the hands of the lobby. It's not coming from the hands of the congressmen, but it is coming from the hands of the government of the new country. Their efforts, how they are putting their papers. You heard about South Sudan. You heard about Somaliland. You heard about Kosovo. You heard about Taiwan. The effort. You heard about these countries that are coming out from South Africa again. That is where you will see the reality. Because what we are doing, people has done that in the past. People has passed through that process. So USB is the only option. Like the declaration of Namibia is the only option for people of Namibia. The declaration of Algeria was only the option. The declaration of the South Sudan is only the option, not what you think, how you feel. It's about to maintain the existing protocol of the world and work on the template of the world tertiary recognition. We are no longer in the era of protest. We are no longer in the era of agitation. We are no longer in the era of groups, but we are in the era of a country. Take it or you leave it. My people, tomorrow is going to be a heavy one. Tomorrow, we have a heavy program to do tomorrow. For you to see all this scenario that is going on. Because Nanki Bazwa, onward, because I thank you and remain blessed. Remain under USB we are declared. Through the office of Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, take it serious. You will thank her later. She is a blessing to us. Thank you as we move.